Okay, hello, EverGreenCoin community. It's a community hangout for October 7th, 2017. Oops. And on the call, I have James joining. Uh, Someone new to the community that I've been speaking about is Christophe in France. And myself here, as soon as my video catches up here. Yeah, okay, and here I am. Okay, so let me share screens real quick. And I always start off things with looking at the price. Seems as of late we've been flirting with 500 Satoshi. Um, it's been very volatile there. It looks like. I think some in the community are anticipating a spike here in the very near future. Uh, so we're looking forward to that. And actually, we are over right now. We are over 5,000 Satoshi at Cryptopia. So it's been, but on Bittrex, it's been bouncing above and below 5,000 Satoshi from what I've seen all day. Okay, so that's enough on the price. Turn off my screen sharing. Let's see. The big news really is the formation of the 501c3. As of yesterday, that paperwork is out of my hands. It is being mailed to the authorities here in the United States, authorities or whatever you call it. That process might take up to 2 weeks before we get an EIN number, an employee identification number, the business registration number, which is the equivalent of a social security number for a business. So the great news is they were able to expedite that and get it mailed yesterday for me on Friday, rather than having, so we didn't have to necessarily wait the weekend. Things got moving along as fast as they could. Some of that does have to be done with snail mail. Not all of it can be done electronically. So that is the reason for it taking up to 2 weeks before we'll actually get the employer identification number, EIN. And I guess on that note, just to let everyone know, obviously I'll be the president of the EverGreenCoin Foundation. Bo is the treasurer, and Brooks will be the secretary. That is what the paperwork, that is what the charter of the nonprofit will read. I did not. What I did was basically I did what the minimum of what the law requires for my state of Ohio, as far as the charter or any other paperwork. The reason I did the minimum was I didn't want to paint myself in a corner or paint us into a corner by making some bylaws and things that we might want to change in the future. Of course, we do have the freedom to change those when we want to. The board of directors, those positions are for a year. I don't foresee them needing to change, but I'm just letting you guys know the details of it, and what I know of it at this point. So we're just
The
the
sound
paper.
quality is very bad.
I'm sorry, Christoph. What is that?
The quality sound is very bad. I don't
Oh, really?
understand
You
very
can't hear me?
well. I shot my, but I hope to hear you better.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, my internet's kind of poor, so I'm really stressing it to record this, and I have, obviously I have some other programs open here. Let me see if I can just get out of some things, if that'll help a little bit. Christoph and I were doing some things over on Skype prior to the call, so I have Skype and Telegram and all these other things running here. Maybe that'll help a little, but I apologize. Hopefully it does make it into the recording. Okay. Uh, but to
Uh-huh.
summarize, the
Yeah.
501c3 is started. Okay. Um, on another note, I have been working on uh, version 1.7. Oh, I'm not sharing screens. One second. So I have been working on version 1.7, as many of the community know, um, and in that version is going to be a lot of improvements to the staking for charity. And one issue that I was working on the night before last, that was brought to attention when we released 1.6, was with staking for charity. You can unlock your wallet for staking only, and staking for charity uh, makes you believe that everything is okay. But in fact, staking for charity cannot work when the wallet's unlocked for staking only. It does need the wallet unlocked for sending also, so that when you receive your staking reward and it matures, it's able to, on your behalf, send it to the charity. So it needs to be completely unlocked. But I have fixed that so that it does tell you that you need to unlock it completely, not just unlocked for staking only. So, and someone on the Bitcoin Talk thread, the old Bitcoin Talk thread, had brought that to my attention and made a post about that when we released 1.6. Just to let you know that that will be resolved in 1.7, along with some very various other improvements to the staking for charity. Um, there has been a push, I guess more so on the Telegram group. There has been a push for me to try to get this out in October. So I think I am going to go ahead and do that. There's just some error checking and things in the code that and corner cases in the code that I need to handle. I believe I mentioned that last week. I am still working on that, but do expect this 1.7 in October. And at that time, we will we will get 1.7 compiled for Android too. So there will be another update to the Android wallet to bring it up to the 1.7 code base. On that note, on the Android note rather, uh, we did just update the manager app in the Play Store.
Yeah.
Um, and what that was if you were trying to manage and download, like for example, download the Bootstrap or anything prior to executing the EverGreenCoin QT wallet itself, and the file structure not existing yet, the manager app didn't handle that very well. It wouldn't tell you that something was wrong, so it could make you think that it did download a Bootstrap when in fact it hadn't, because it didn't have the file structure to exist to download it yet. But we did push out an update to the Play Store for the manager app, so that now the manager app will tell you if you try to run it before you've executed the actual wallet and built the file structure. It will tell you that you need to run the wallet at least once before trying to manage it, basically. Okay, so now uh, increased economic opportunities, IEO, James. I know several in the community are familiar with the situation or the agreements going on with IEO and James. And I mentioned last Hangout the crowd fund. That is not live yet. Um, but I was telling James before I started the recording, I am going to try to make that live today. I apologize that it hasn't started, that I haven't got it live yet. As everyone knows, I juggle many tasks, priorities change, so uh, sometimes things get a little bit delayed, of course. Um, but I know James is trying to reach a target, I believe, of October 15th. So it leaves us basically a week to try to help with that, and I would like to be able to try to help with that. So um, that crowdfund is going up to the top of my priority list. I do have a bunch of work I have to do outside today, uh, but this evening that will be my number one priority. So do expect that. And on the crowdfund note, um, Horton Farms and Joe Harden, I'm sorry, I believe I might be mispronouncing his last name, but the urban farms that he's started in Kansas City, Missouri. I would like to get a crowdfund together for him too, to try to raise a little bit of funding for him to help. Um, People that follow us on social media, especially the Facebook group, will see that Joe has been posting basically monthly, if not more frequent, videos and updates about his urban farm. We are gaining some urban farming attention on Twitter and such, so that's exciting for us to be uh, expanding a little bit into that area. So hopefully, we can help Joe with his urban farm in Kansas City, and in the near future, probably spring, be helping uh, some urban farms in other areas as well. So that's a great thing for the gardens division. And let's see. Oh, and James has been evangelizing and spreading the word about EverGreenCoin a lot, which is greatly appreciated, of course. I'll share my screen real quick. And so some people wanted to collect bounties for helping promote, and I'll just share this one video of this lovely lady and her child here.
Hi, my name is Christina Shango, and I support EverGreenCoin. You know what? They're doing awesome stuff. You should support them too.
Okay, so that's greatly appreciated, and I do want to start getting that out on social media and things like that, promotion type thing. I do think they're very valuable. I mean, that's awesome. That one especially is awesome. A mother with her child, I think, is conveys a kind of the underlining message of EverGreenCoin very very well. So that's awesome, absolutely awesome. And there is a few other pictures. I think there was 8 total. But follow on Twitter if you want to, and I'll get them in the Facebook group too, of course. But I will be sharing those in the near future. Okay. So now, for for Christoph and Solid Rain. I know you guys have been hearing me talk a little bit about Solid Rain. Let me share screens again here, 1 second, and I'll share this video here. It's on sparknews.com. Let me get this full screen actually. 1 second, please. So hopefully the audio makes it into the recording. I hope it does. Anyway.
Burdened by drought, these Mexican farmers have found themselves at the cutting edge of new technology. It's called solid rain, and it may be a last hope for their crops and their livelihoods, withered by the region's worst dry spell in 7 decades. With solid rain, farmer Eusebio Martinez says he can now put food on the table.
During this drought, we have seen that with this product, plants remain fertile and the fruit looks as if it had been constantly watered.
Solid rain is a powder which absorbs water on contact. Once mixed, it is poured into a hole before planting. The powder is highly absorbent, capable of holding up to 500 times its weight in water, which it retains in molecular form. When placed in the ground, the material slowly releases the water into the soil around the plant's roots.
Pues esto, si lo fijamos un poquito,
The brains behind the product belong to chemical engineer Sergio Rico. Rico believes solid rain could dramatically transform agriculture in Mexico by keeping plants flourishing for months, rain or shine.
con esta tecnología, aunque deje de llover, la planta se mantiene en crecimiento.
With this technology, if it stops raining, the plant still grows. What is most important is that when the rain ends, we don't lose crops. There is a reserve of humidity in the roots that allows the plants to finish growing and to sprout up to 1 month after the rain. This is productive, it saves money, and also enriches agricultural products grown in the country.
Y realmente riqueza para el productor del campo.
Rico says the final product is both efficient and safe for the environment. He says the material, made up of hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen and potassium, is not soluble in water and so can't be absorbed by plants. Water supply and availability reinforce Mexico's socio-economic barriers. But since 1 hectare of land could be kept thriving for just around $500, Rico says solid rain may go some way in addressing these divisions.
Lo hemos desarrollado como una cultura del agua. Aquellos lugares donde están muy pobres,
We have developed a water culture. Places are very poor because there's no water and farmers abandon the land. They don't have food mainly because they don't have enough water sources and it only rains sometimes.
y a veces hasta de suficiente lluvia.
And with some 70% of Mexico crippled by drought, Rico hopes solid rain will help to make Mexico's farmers more self-reliant and successful. Tara Cleary, Reuters.
Okay, so hopefully that audio made it into the recording. I suspect it probably did not, and I apologize for that. But I will get the link out on. I'll post it on the various social media outlets and the Bitcoin Talk thread and stuff, so people can see it on their own. But the Solid Rain product, I mean, I think everyone can understand the logic of holding the water by the roots longer, of course. So
Yeah.
very excited to be working with Christoph, and this is just he is very involved. He is very passionate about his work as well, and he has several other projects that EverGreenCoin will be expanding into. Also, Solid Rain is just the start of this. So I'm very excited to see where that's going to go. And like I said, these the Solid Rain products will be in our marketplace. 50, and Christoph and I kind of agreed that 50% of the proceeds will go to the foundation. So we got to work out those details of that, and get English translations done and things like that, of course. But
Yeah.
very excited to see where that's going to go, and very quick. And Christoph was waiting for the 501c3 himself. He does need, various businesses. They do need to work with a business like the EverGreenCoin Foundation. They need business identification and things like that from a legal aspect. So, and once again, that ball is rolling and out of my hands now as that paperwork is being processed. So that's awesome. And it will be a legal nonprofit here in the year of 2017. So there's all kinds of tax implications that the community might benefit from, and myself too. Of course, if anyone needs help with that, or if you have some expense that you'd like to donate to the EverGreenCoin Foundation, you please, people do need to make me aware of that. And community members could potentially bill or donate billable hours to the EverGreenCoin Foundation. Unfortunately, I would have to offset that. So please do make me aware of that if you're going to try to do something like that. Of course, I'll try to do my best to work with anyone trying to do that. But I do need to be aware of it. Of course, if you try to write off hours and I do not reflect that in the EverGreenCoin Foundation's taxes, the EverGreenCoin Foundation could be audited at that point. So I want to avoid that, of course. So that hopefully that's able to help the EverGreenCoin Foundation, myself, and other community members with some of the financial burdens that I know a lot of us are absorbing. Hopefully we can leverage that a little bit to help out. Okay, so I think that's really everything I had on my list here to discuss. Let me just grab my list from last week and make sure there wasn't something I needed to follow up with. Yeah, the trademark we're still at the same point we were last week of the United States Patent and Trademark Office. They're processing paperwork. It's in their hands. The water well, I haven't got it. I haven't tried to get another update. If you remember from last week, fortunately, they weren't affected by the flooding in Bangladesh there as bad as what I had feared. So it will be going forward. But they have yet to break ground. Of course, I'll make the community aware of that when they do. And I think that's everything, unless I'm forgetting something, which very well could be the case, but I'm only human too, so. So that's awesome. To the pictures from James, I appreciate that. Awesome. Hopefully we can help James and IEO meet their funding goal, or their funding goal of 100% growth every quarter. This because they might not make it this quarter, but hopefully we can help push them over the edge so they can. Okay, that's all I really have. Hopefully the recording is kind of short. I know I'm getting some complaints about the length of the recording, so hopefully I've summarized and didn't run my mouth too much. And thanks everyone for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you would, or subscribe and all that stuff. Follow on social media and stuff for updates, of course. I do post things on the Bitcoin Talk thread. Oh, and sorry that the Bitcoin Talk thread, I'm not as active on there. I mean, I think everyone does understand after the thread getting locked, our first thread getting locked, I'm a little bit I'm a little bit less social on Bitcoin Talk specifically. I don't mean to ignore any of the community there or anything like that. It's just if they're gonna lock threads on us and things like, and moderate us in such a strict manner, I'm very reluctant to rely on them for anything. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I will certainly, well, yeah, I guess, and on another note, I might need to, like I mentioned last week, because of my farming and combining, I may need to cancel next weekend. I don't know. I'm not canceling it yet. So far, it looks like I'll be able to make it, but with any luck, I will be combining, so I will have to cancel that one. But of course, I'll make the community aware of that if that's the case. Okay, thank you very much for watching.